Up everybody, hope you guys are all staying safe. I'm coming at you live from South America and the beaches of Brazil right now. And I spend a lot of time down here. Actually, my fiance is Brazilian, so we come down here quite a bit. I love it down here, and can't be happier right here right now. But what I want to talk to you guys also about today is actually related to that, and that is travel and how this is going to change right now. It looks like the U.S. government has decided that they're going to lift all travel restrictions for travelers from every single country at some point in November. So that, obviously, for us as short-term rental operators, is going to be a huge, huge change for for the industry, and going back to something that, resembling something similar to what we had in 2019 pre-pandemic. I've been able to get by. Luckily, I'm in a major city, and as I've pointed out in other videos, I've done fantastic, from a economic standpoint with the short-term rentals during this whole time. But the one thing I was lacking was international travelers, and that was a huge part of my business before. Luckily, it was substituted with local travelers and people within the state of California driving in and that sort of thing. But I'm excited to now have the international travelers back, because they were, quite honestly, they were a backbone of my business. I don't know the exact percentage that they were, but it was, relatively large. And as I had mentioned in other videos too, I just love to have them as guests, because quite honestly, they typically paid more, were willing to pay more, and also took better care of my properties, is what I found. So happy to have them back. And that is something that, for you guys looking to enter into the business or expand your business, that is going to be something that you have not had for the last couple of years, and is only going to, increase your bottom line, and is another reason to push you into the business if you're not already in it. There's just, quite honestly, there's too many changes coming. I think that the whole, the idea of people choosing Airbnbs over hotels at a higher degree than before is here to stay. I don't think it was a fad. I think that's going to stick here. I think that it's become more mainstream. A whole new generation of people are very accustomed to it. The younger generation is super comfortable with Airbnb, and it seems totally normal to them. So, I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. And, I think that some of those trends that came over in the middle of COVID, those are going to stick. And so now you have that, plus the international travelers coming back in November, and we're ripe for having higher rates than we've already had before, and even more reason to expand your business, or more reason to get into the business. Now, another thing in relation to why your business is going to boom that I noticed actually when booking my ticket to come here to Brazil, and this trend of buy now, pay later, also known in short terms as BNPL. And, Affirm is one of the big companies that's getting a lot of press coverage, related to their stock and their partnership with Amazon and whatnot. But this whole buy now, pay later thing is applying to everything. That is getting into all kinds of aspects of our life that before you didn't even think about as something that you had the option to not pay for in its entirety right away. And now, when booking this ticket, I noticed United Airlines had an option to buy now and pay later. Now, that's crazy, and that is something that I have not seen before. Obviously, people were able to do that using a credit card. You can obviously do that and pay a high interest rate, but this buy now, pay later makes it awfully convenient and very easy to, to to break down these major expenses into smaller bite-sized chunks that more people can afford. So this is also going to revolutionize how many people are traveling and what people are able to afford when traveling. Things that were seemingly unattainable before, are now going to maybe be in reach, because they can break down these payments for things that they were used to having to pay in one big chunk. Now they can break it down into payments. And a big part of travel expenses is obviously the airfare. As I think about it too, I think it's only a matter of time until Airbnb and the other booking platforms, most notably Airbnb, before they offer something also to that effect. Right now, for the most part, people booking Airbnb do have the option of paying, I believe it's right now, it's a 50% payment. They can pay upfront or they can pay it in its entirety. But I think that this whole buy now, pay later thing is going to come to that, and I think they're going to even be able to break down those payments even further. So you're talking about another major expense of travel, which is housing and the airfare. Those are the two major expenses associated with travel. I think both of those things are going to be able to be broken down in this whole buy now, pay later, I'm not going to call it a fad because it's not a fad, but this buy now, pay later program that is becoming mainstream. And, everybody is going to be, it's going to be in front of everybody, and it already is, and it's only going to expand. It's really only starting here. I know it's been a bigger thing in other places. It's been a bigger thing actually in South America. It's been a bigger thing in Europe. I know has had that for some time, but it's only catching on now in the United States. And, these are all things that are going to make travel more attainable for more people, which means you're going to get, again, more people able to stay in your Airbnbs. Everybody can obviously operate different levels of Airbnbs and what they're doing, but majority of my Airbnbs are pretty expensive. They're definitely not on the cheap side. As I've told you guys, I try not to go into super, super rich neighborhoods because of the things that I've highlighted. The neighbors are going to be on your ass, and, that's not my cup of tea. But again, I'm still in good neighborhoods, good locations, and I have beautiful properties that make people from, all walks of life, and people from, all different, people with all different price points want to come and stay at my properties. So I do get a lot of wealthy people that come and stay at my properties, even though the properties themselves are not what you would call, they're just not in super wealthy neighborhoods, is the bottom line, majority of them. So, these are all things that are only going to blow this thing up even more than it's already been. And again, this is why I have my foot on the gas right now to expand the business, to get new properties. As I think I told you guys before, I'm in escrow right now to purchase a property, which I'm going to turn into an Airbnb. Again, I'm still going heavily after the rentals. That's going to be the majority of it, but I do want to own something as well. So, I'm constantly looking to expand, and, these are all things that are going to make it even more worthwhile and, just drive me even more to, to make more money and to really capitalize on this, because this whole Airbnb thing is not going anywhere. The hotels are already freaking out. They got tons of lobbyists in every major city trying to crush this thing, but it's a movement that's, quite honestly, they're not going to be able to stop it. They may be able to slow it down in places, put some regulations in place, but you have too many people vested in it, including the people that are making the decisions. A lot of the council members in your city, etc., are probably operating Airbnbs, so it's in their interest to keep this thing going as well. Are there regulations that you're going to have to navigate? For sure, there definitely are. Every city is going to be a little bit different. Some cities have outright outlawed it, but I don't think that's going to be the norm. And that's what's on my mind right now, and that's what I wanted to give you guys an update on that, and just fill you in as to my thoughts. And again, more motivation and more reason to get into this. If you're not in it yet, it's not too late. You're definitely not too late. You just got to take action and, start making those phone calls, start talking to owners, start getting them to say no, because every no that you get from an owner, you're one step closer to getting a yes. So, I don't know. I'm actually going to figure that out. I'm going to do a little study on it. I'm going to figure out how many owners I talk to before I get one to say yes. I have a general idea of what it is, but I don't know exactly. I'm going to try to get that figured out. But the bottom line is, I know every time I get a no, that means I'm one step closer to yes, because not everybody's going to say yes. So, get out there, hustle, and, get involved and get your first property, or expand that portfolio if you haven't already done it. So I'm going to leave you guys on that, and stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys back. Probably another video from here in Brazil. I don't have a return ticket yet to come home, but, it will be at some point in the next few weeks. I'm out.